Hello everyone, I'm NGC, and today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the missed potential SML videos that is in SML. Let me explain to you guys. So, when you talk about SML, you usually talk about the useless plots, the repetitive characters, the pointless endings, basically all the flaws that's in SML, modern SML in particular. But so what a lot of people don't really talk about, which is kind of surprising, is the missed potential SML videos. Now, for those who don't know what missed potential is, Mr. Potential is basically something that they could have done a lot more with, but they just didn't do in the end for no reason at all. But there's a lot of missed potential SML videos in SML, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about them and how what they could have done way more with the video. So the first video to come in mind when you talk about missed potential SML videos is Jeffy's Mother's Day. Let me explain the plot. So the plot of this video is that it's Mother's Day, so Jeffy needs to make a gift for Rose, but he forgot. So he just decides to pull out some sort of crap tin, and when he's going to get a fork for her, like Marvin for some reason mentions Brumpkins, and when Rose says she doesn't want that, Jeffy is thinking like she is talking about his cake when really she is talking about Marvin's Brumpkin offer. I don't know. That's actually what happens in the video. I am not joking. So anyway, in the video, when Jeffy overhears this, he calls out Rose, and then he gets into his room and is grounded. So when he does, he sneaks out of the house or just jumps out of the window for some reason. I don't really know, but he wants to get a new mommy since he's sick of his old mommy. So when he is outside, he gets a voice, like he hears a voice in the forest, so he goes to see it. And he gets kidnapped by his mother, like his real mother, Nancy, who comes back for like, what, the third time now? But anyway, Marvin and Rose find out that Jeffy ran away, so they decide to call the cops, aka Simmons, who usually was Brooklyn guy, but since Chris is out of town and they had to figure out an excuse to actually get the cops in, they decide to put Simmons, since he's kind of the right-hand man when they are replacing Brooklyn guy. They could have done Jonathan, but you know what? Simmons is way better than Jonathan. So anyways, like after all the filler, like Simmons goes out to find Jeffy, and before Nancy cut off Jeffy's limbs, she gets shot by Simmons, killing her, and Simmons tells Jeffy that he should have appreciated his mom better, but then suddenly Jeffy wakes up, and it was actually a dream the whole time, and it didn't happen. Like, none of this ever happened. Jeffy didn't actually run away. Nancy didn't actually came back. There was no jokes about the Brumpkin at all. It was just Jeffy's imagination, which kind of expected, but you know, Marvin is kind of weird at sometimes, so yeah, but seriously, they could have done so much more with this video. Now, as much as I didn't like to see Nancy return, if she did return for this video, and it was a dream the whole time, think about what they could have done. If this was a dream, they could have done more. Like, well, let me explain. So, if it was a dream, Nancy could have harmed Jeffy a bit, and she could have actually caused destruction in the town. Like, some murder she could have caused the SML house to lit on fire and effects, and she could have caused lots of destruction in the world. And when Simmons goes to save Jeffy, he has a battle with Nancy until he kills her, but he accidentally like gets shot, but he sacrifices his own self for the sake of like humanity in the world, and he dies in the end with Marvin and Rose like having Jeffy in his hands, and they're crying until the screen cuts to black, and then it's just a dream. And while the ending will kind of seem like a cop out in the end, it would have been at least better than what we got in like the final version. So yeah, they could have done more with this video. Another video that comes to mind when you talk about missed potential SML videos is The Avengers of D. Now, the main part of this video is that Rose and Marvin are chilling on the couch when they see on the news Super D is protecting the town, one of Rose's ex-boyfriends. And when Marvin is like talking about his ex-girlfriends in a scene where Rose laughs at, which, hold on, I will explain more in this video, but anyway, more in this video. So when like there's a knock at the door, and Marvin decides to answer, and it's none other than Super D and Super Big D. They're here because they are protecting Rose from Super Big Rastin Wrong Big Gertie D. If I actually got that name right, I swear to God, I'm actually going to be surprised, but I'm not going to say that bloody name since it's going to take a while, and I'm probably going to forget, so I'm just calling him San, since that's his real name. Thank God they said that, for God's sake. But anyway, he's here because he wants to kidnap Rose, since she is the best she ever had for some reason. It's kind of jokes in this video. So when Marvin and Rose exits the room, like Super D and Super Big D get their ass kicked by Sam, and they need to find someone that has a big D or some freaking reason, I don't know. But Rose says that Marvin is the best she ever had, and they go out to get a costume, and when they get Marvin the costume, they all fight Sam, including Mosquito Man, who Mosquito Man, Super D, and Super Big D get their asses kicked. But then when it's Marvin's turn, he actually defeats Sam, and they all beat up Sam, and he gives up in the end, refusing and just giving up in the end and possibly going to jail in the end. And Marvin saved Rose from what could have been way darker SML videos. So while the final battle definitely worked, what more they could have done with this video is that, look, when Marvin was like, okay, early in the video when there was filled with Brooklyn guy, because we're talking about friendship or something like that, Marvin mentioned he wanted to get a lady to pretend to be his like ex-girlfriend so he can then impress Rose, since she doubts he has any ex-girlfriend. So this could have been the return of Peach. Now, if you don't know who Peach is used to date Marvin, but eventually got tired of him, and Marvin finally saw what she was like capable of. He saw that she had no more loyalty in Marvin and just took Rose instead of her, which is quite understandable, and I wish SML did more with this. But anyway, so they could have returned Peach, not fully, just for one video, but it could have worked. When Peach arrived and Marvin showed her off, Rose could actually meet Peach, since like they haven't met before. And when Rose sees this, she gets jealous, and they both have a fight. Like in the Jeffy's Crayons video where Super D and Super Big D have a fight over Rose. But this time, it's Rose and Peach fighting over Marvin, because Peach wants, like, Marvin back. So they all have a fight, and then we skip to the final battle in the scene, and when Marvin is, like, against Sam, he actually gets his ass kicked, but then when he's about to, Rose punches Peach off the cliff, and she accidentally falls on Sam, and then Sam sees Peach, and she actually accepts him, and he takes Peach out of the room, and Peach gets kidnapped, and we won't be seeing Peach ever again, and Sam just leaves in the end with her, and going out of the town, which would have been a way better ending. Rose protected Marvin, and actually saved him in the end. Super D, Super Big D, and Mosquito Man actually tells Marvin, since they got their ass kicked, so they didn't really pay attention to the fight. So yeah, they assume Marvin did in the end. Yeah, those are my way better versions. Obviously, there's a lot more missed potential SML videos, but those are the prime examples when we talk about them. So, what are the most missed potential SML videos in your mind? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all for the next SML video, which will probably be one of my favorites I ever made. Depending if I can upload or not. I just upload videos whenever I can get them done. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video like I said, and I'll see y'all in the next video.